When is silence a good thing?
When I'm trying to sleep.
You know when you say the word
During
silence,
a movie.
you're making noise?
That is true, yeah.
What's up, guys? It's Alex, and you're listening to the Quality Banter podcast, the podcast that doesn't quite know what it is, but is specifically this.
A calm chaos, a dark light, dumb questions with smart answers, and a tasty smell.
Alright, I would like to introduce our guests for this week, which are the same guests as last week, because they're my co-hosts.
Yeah, you're not guests, but co-host.
So we have on
But
my...
we're not being paid, so we're guests.
Guys, on my right here we have Thomas, who
Yes.
is my brother, just in case you didn't know.
Thanks,
And
guys.
on my left you have Kayla,
Yes.
who's an inconvenience.
Explains my life.
Thomas, Kayla, how are you today?
Yeah, good. Look,
Alive, yeah.
That's always
living
good.
life.
To
Here
the
for a good
fullest.
time, not a long time.
Oh, that's just sad.
Yep.
Let's get into it.
Alright, we have some questions that Kayla has prepared for us today.
Because nobody else did anything in the last 5 minutes. It's
Yeah.
been 5 minutes.
It's fine. That's okay. So the first question that Kayla has come up with is, what past time period would you want to live in as yourself with the knowledge that you have today?
Ancient Greek.
Like, what would you do, though, with all that knowledge?
You'd be murdered.
I'd
Like,
be
what
like,
exactly could you do?
no, because I'd be sitting up in like the. Is that where they had like the arenas and stuff? Yeah.
So you'd be one of those people in the crowd just yelling, die,
Yeah!
die, die!
Yeah, probably.
But do you
Yeah.
think that you would end up a slave?
No, because
Because
and they had
you've
so
got to have
much
a
like
shit... I'm
they
sorry.
had so much cool like like the because that's when like most of the words were like created now. It'd be so cool.
No,
to learn
I'd
stuff
love to
then.
live like when Shakespeare was around, because he invented the word puke. I could be the person
I
who
have a
invents
question,
the
though.
word puke.
If I'm going
and
back
that would
in
be
time-
I
awesome.
invent things that will then I can be famous in the future.
If I'm going back in time, is my iPhone with me?
No.
If it's in my pocket at the time that I get sent back in time?
Yeah, but you'd have no cell reception.
No, but
'Cause it
still, that would
wouldn't
blow
exist.
people's minds. They would think I'm a witch.
Yeah, and you'd be
And I
burned
can
at
burn
the stake.
Right, let's not do that.
Look,
Like, it'd be shitty because I am a girl. I know, that is surprising. Surprised me. But, anyways, like, as a girl, going back in time to any time period
I'd
other
reckon.
than recently,
Yeah.
I would be considered a witch if I had any type of knowledge whatsoever.
That's true. If you do medicine of any kind.
Yeah.
which is
Witch.
why I
Burnt
think
at the stake.
like whenever people say like I wish I was born in like the 80s or like in the 70s.
That's fine.
I'm like,
because
but-
but also, women's rights were shit back then.
yeah, everything like pretty much the entire social status was shit back then. Right now we have the best.
If you
like,
are a minority,
yeah,
in any way, shape, or form, you would be screwed.
which is why I
Unless
think
you are
what
a
we have
straight
now is
white
the best so
man,
far.
going back in time is not an option for
Yeah.
you.
I'd like to go back to like the time that, you know, mum and dad met. I think it would be cool going
Imagine
back
just
there.
watching it happen.
Could you just
No,
imagine
I wouldn't
like
wanna watch
Marty
that.
McFlying it though and accidentally fucking it up?
Yeah.
And accidentally getting like your mum or your dad to fall for you? That would be creepy AF.
Well, I wouldn't do that because that would be weird.
But also, can you just imagine like being in the background while you're being conceived, just creepily watching
Why
your
would you
parents?
watch that?
Hell, why does your hair go straight to the
I
back?
meant
what
like
I just
I meant
said.
seeing our parents like meet like for the first time.
I know exactly how they met.
Yeah.
They met on the steps of uni when they were trying to bum a cigarette off each other. And then my dad challenged my mum
And
to
nothing much
remember
has
his
changed.
name.
Nothing much has changed. I think ours was so much better. Dad's telling us like how he saw mum walk in, like I'm gonna marry that girl, and then mum falling for his brother,
Yep, that happened.
Yep.
Yes.
That's true.
and then meeting a guy with the last name Kent. So I was probably gonna be born as Clark Kent, which I'm really disappointed at. So
I know.
You would
thanks,
have to
Dad.
have the first name Clark.
Yeah. Mum wanted to name one of her kids Clark if she married that guy,
Really?
which I'm kind of disappointed. So thanks, Dad. You're
How could he?
seriously.
But at the same time, it wouldn't be you that would be born.
And
It'd be
that doesn't
somebody
matter.
else.
But I could have had the last name Kent.
Okay. Well, technically, my last name isn't my last name.
What do you mean?
Well, you know, because during the World War II, Jeddah, my grandfather, he sort of escaped the Czech Republic and he changed his name completely. His name isn't his name. He changed it
So is it
Wow.
Vincent?
to escape.
I knew Jeddah was a spy.
He wasn't a spy. He was just a really crafty individual who decided, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Like this shit, I'm out.
Yeah. And so he faked his age, he faked his name and left.
Wow.
So yeah.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
So technically my last name is Kubin.
talking about leaving your hometown, have you guys actually thought about leaving home? Kayla, you have left home.
I left home. I'm out.
You've moved out. You're on your own. What's it like? Tell me.
It's so nice, but also I have to clean everything myself. That sucks.
What do you miss the most, though?
What do I miss about being at home?
Yeah.
Coming home and being able to talk to people. That is one of the random things.
Yeah. Just
that
being
you sort of
home,
miss.
I'm not alone. Like, with someone.
Because I live by myself, so coming home and then like there being no one there, but at the exact same time, that's one of the things I love.
Yeah,
being on my own.
Just sort of quiet.
Yeah, it's like I can come home and no one's questioning me, no one's like sort of trying to get into my business or anything.
Yeah.
I didn't spill the water, it's fine. And
Well, great. Now the listeners know we have water.
we've been talking about this water
That
since
was like
the
one of our
start.
first topics.
But yeah, so it's really nice to be able to come home and they're being absolutely quiet.
Yeah.
And then there's times when you come home and it's quiet and you're like, it's driving me mad. But then you just put on like a podcast, like this one exact here. And,
Like quality banter available anywhere you would listen to podcasts.
is it
Hopefully.
though?
I don't know yet. Right now it's only on my hard
We
drive.
figure that out. But yeah, so then you just like put on the TV and it's fine.
Yeah. What about you, Alex? Same age, but still hasn't moved out.
Technically he's younger.
That's true, but still hasn't moved
By
out.
2 months. Well, look,
I moved out like a year and a half ago. You're way behind.
Yeah, if
What's
I
your
had gone
excuse?
the more kind of traditional route after school of getting a normal job and like working lots and that sort of stuff, I would probably have enough money to be able to afford my car and be able to move out and be in a house by myself.
Yeah.
If that, like houses are quite expensive though. We talked about this a little bit in the last podcast, so I won't bring it up again.
Please do. I can rent for another like hour.
That's why I'm not bringing it up again. No, but I chose to take like a little bit of a different path. I chose to start my own business and work on that stuff so that I could kind of work on my own thing rather than working on someone else's. And that's just, it's not that I've been set back. I'm just running a different race to everyone else.
Yeah.
That's the way I like to see
It
it.
doesn't matter.
But also, it's I know this. Or I heard this quote ages ago about this guy. I was like, it's so stupid to compare yourself to others because everyone's going to have a different life path. Everyone's going to have different milestones.
It's like
at
the
different
expectation
times.
thing from last time.
Yeah. So it's completely stupid to sort of go, oh, this person's already doing this. I should be doing this.
Yeah.
But like you're at different points in your life, so why would you try and compare that? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you can really only compare yourself to who you were yesterday. Like that's the main thing. And you can kind of just look at your own journey and figure out where you want to be. And if you're going backwards, then that's a problem. And Kayla's looking intensely into her glass of water right now. I want to know what is happening in that glass.
I don't know why it's not Pepsi Max.
Oh my god. Right. Thomas, why haven't you moved out?
Because I'm 17. I'm still in school.
What do you think you're going to do though? What's your opinion on it? Do you think you should move out like as soon as possible? Do you want to stay as soon as you can?
When you're ready. Whenever you have actually figured out what you're going to do.
I
if
still
you
haven't
have
figured
enough...
out. I've got a career and a house, and I still
But
don't know what I want
if
to do
you
with
have
my
like
life.
no money, you don't have you have a shit job, you can't actually do anything. I don't think you should move out. But until you can actually take care of yourself, you should move out. And when you feel ready to, not when anyone else tells you to move out.
Take care of yourself from a monetary perspective of actually being able to afford things, or is it taking care of yourself as in, you can do your own washing and stuff? Because I feel like there's lots of stuff that you can learn to do and actually like take care of yourself while still living at home.
Yeah.
Which is what I've kind of started to do is I've started to kind of take back a few things.
Yeah.
Mum doesn't do my washing anymore or anything like that. I clean my part of the house.
My mum doesn't do mine either.
Yeah. Yes, she does.
No, she doesn't.
Really?
Why would you assume that I would go home, drive 20 minutes with my washing, give it to my mum and say, please help me?
So you're saying you've never done that?
No, I have not. There was only one time she found washing in my car, and because it had been in there because I'd gone out for a night and I changed clothes, and so it was still in my car. She's like, I'm just gonna wash it for you. I'm like, oh, that was really sweet. Okay.
I'm not gonna say no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think there's also stuff that you can kind of learn to do by yourself so that you can kind of feel a little bit more independent while still being at home, because it is very expensive to move out. And I think it's probably like a better idea to stay at home as long as you can. If your parents are okay with that and if they're happy to support you, then that's an awesome situation. I don't think you should feel like you have to make that next step if it's like really...
There's no age limit.
Yeah.
But also, I think that for me personally, I was just at the point where I'm like, I'm living at home, but I always felt sort of really confined.
Yeah.
Because my parents, they're very open and honest and like they're happy for you to do whatever you want at home.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't want to bring somebody back to my house when I'm living with my parents. And so that was like, yeah, I want my own place.
Yeah.
Just a bit of privacy.
But also, because I had this all mapped out when I was 16. I wrote it down exactly where I wanted to be in 5 years. And I'm not doing any of those things now. But
that's the thing, you can't predict where you think you're going to be in 5 years. Like it's just impossible. You can kind of make goals and say this is where I'd like to be, but even then, like it changes so fast. Like, I change my mind on what I want to do every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like literally, I have a midlife crisis every 3 weeks, and then every 2 weeks I have great revelations and epiphanies about life.
Is it a midlife crisis though?
If you're not in your midlife.
But how do
it's
you
just
know
a
when your
general
midlife
crisis.
crisis is going to be? Because
if it's happening that regularly, then it's probably something else that's happening.
Just a crisis.
It's just anxiety.
What a mood. I lost it.
You took the conversation and then you just like dropped it on the floor. You're like, give it here. I'm just going to put it over here.
Okay, I remember now. But it's like when people tell you, where do you see yourself in like 10 years? You can't actually say exactly what you see. So what I do is the only thing I say is I want to be happy. Because that's the only thing I can try and make myself do.
Yeah.
Is I can be happy. So we did this at school. Like you had to write a letter to yourself in a year and like in 10 years and stuff. And I literally just said, I want to be happy where I am in life, where I am in my job, where I am at home, even if I haven't moved out or not. Like, as long as I'm happy where I'm at, I'm good.
Yeah, and I think a big part of making sure you're happy wherever you are is enjoying the journey.
Yeah.
A lot of people get hung up on whatever goals that they're going towards and where they want to be, like, whether you've got a house, whether you've got a car, that sort of stuff. But if you're not enjoying the journey to get those things, then you're missing out on a big chunk of life that you could be enjoying. So you've got to make sure you're enjoying that bit of it.
Because from a very young age, I knew exactly what I wanted to be and where I wanted to go in life.
Which is really rare.
Yeah.
It's really rare. And you're super lucky that you've been able to figure that out.
But the thing is that the further the older I get and the further down that path I go, the less clear the end goal becomes.
Yeah.
And it's like I've had like these very set ideas of what I wanted, but I'm like, I get into it, I'm like, oh, this isn't exactly what I thought it was going to be, or I'm not sure if this is like where my talent best lies.
Yeah.
And so like, while there are elements of it that I still absolutely love and I want to hold on to no matter what, there are parts of it like, I wish I could explore this a bit more. But I'm not sure if like the career that I've chosen or like the path that I've chosen is going to allow me to do it.
I'm in a constant state of like questioning whether I'm doing the right thing or not. Like it's just every night, like I'm just trying to figure out like whether that's the right path that I'm on.
Anxiety. It's a thing.
Yeah.
Boom.
We got that. Oh, wow. Well, everyone has mental health issues.
Oh yeah.
When
if
you
you
look
don't,
at
you're a rarity these days, eh?
It's just who's better at pretending.
I don't even think that it's a like. If we go into like that talk about mental health and like how it's become more popular these days to be able to talk about it and to
it's a lot more open, which is so
helpful. And I think a lot of people are getting help about it, but I think it gets to the point that we're just starting to put labels on just normal emotions and like, normal kind of situations that you're in life. It's just putting a label on that, and I think a lot of times
also that brings you comfort sometimes.
Exactly.
Like just being able to say
what's going on in your head.
Yeah, but not even that. Like even if it's not exactly that, like being able to put a label on something just helps you organize your life.
See it clearly.
Like even if you don't have anxiety, but like just being able to say, I've got anxiety, that's what those feelings are, and like then you can start making a plan to help yourself.
Yeah.
Like even if it's not actually that and you figure that out later.
Even just being able to acknowledge it as it happens and go, that's what that is.
That's
and
a thing. I need to do something.
That was like whenever I had anxiety, it was every day on the way to school and stuff. And I had no idea what it was. I thought it was just like being nervous for school. And I was like, what do I have to be nervous about? Started talking about it with mum and everyone, and they were like, you're pretty sure that's anxiety. And it's so much better now. It's so rare for me to have anxiety now. It's so much better.
Oh, anxiety attacks are the worst, eh?
Bloody oath, mate.
Yeah, I did them really badly in high school.
Yeah.
But I was really good at hiding it. And so everyone just thought I was having like a moody day or something. But inside, I was literally shaking. My body was freezing up. I had no clue like how to fix it. It just felt like I had hit a wall. And I tried to explain it to mum once, and then she never quite got it.
It's hard to explain.
I'm trying to get something done, like cleaning my room or doing something, and then I just have this complete panic attack. And I'm like, I can't do anything. So I immediately revert to doing like reading or just listening or watching.
Netflix is my thing. Yeah. If I'm having trouble with that, I'll literally find a series or multiple series, and I'll just immerse myself in that for like hours on end. And it can be days, weeks, where I get into like just like that whole of just, you know, it's almost like meditation to a fact. You're distracting yourself so that you can't think about anything else. Whereas, well, I guess it's the opposite of meditation there. Meditation is like letting yourself think. I'm stopping myself from thinking, because that's almost what I've figured out is the cause of the anxiety is me thinking too much. So I kind of just stop myself from thinking, which is also not helping a lot of the time.
Which is why I like singing. Just whenever I sing randomly, it just like helps it flood everything out. I can just focus on one thing, like the melody line of the song, or like remembering the lyrics.
Yeah.
And I'll just listen to music like dead straight. And just that's all you have to focus on. Everything just gets left behind.
But you can sort of just escape your brain for a little bit, which is so nice.
Yeah. It's... This is why showers are good. Back to our last podcast is the showers.
At least we're keeping the themes constant here. Yeah. But one thing I would like to ask you guys is if any inanimate object could talk, what object would you choose?
Like, because I wrote that question. I know what I want it to be.
What would you choose?
I want like a spy's glasses to be able to talk about the things that they've seen.
Oh.
Yeah, because like they always either wear like glasses so that they look intellectual, at least in movies, and I'm basing all of this on movies. But or like they wear shades to like hide their face and stuff. Like if they could talk and tell you about what they've seen, that would be amazing.
I was just thinking, well, what about if like a street light could talk?
Yeah.
Do you think,
or maybe like a trash can in a dark alley,
or like traffic lights? Do you think it would have like it would actually have something to say, or would like a traffic light just be sitting there like stop, go? That's all it knows how to do. Like it being able to talk doesn't give it more like, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't give it intelligence.
No, it just
I think
vocalizes what
really
it does.
Cool to hear talk is like a really, really old tree.
Yeah, like what it's seen.
But if it's a really old tree, it's probably in the middle of the bush somewhere.
Yeah.
So it's probably only seen other trees.
Or like one of those trees that's got like the lovers' carvings in them. But would it just be screaming constantly?
Just in pain.
Stop stabbing me!
It's constantly being branded and like carved at, and it's just...
Imagine how much pain the tree's in.
Ouch.
I'm imagining that this tree can't feel pain at this point because that would just be sad. But like being able to tell all the stories about all the people who came there would be really amazing.
Just seeing like families sitting under a tree, like I reckon it would be so cool to hear a really old tree.
So basically, like grandparents.
Yeah. No, but like there's trees that have been around since ages ago.
It's like, Granddad, you're a really old tree. Come tell us some stories.
Yeah. Granddad, we got some old trees around.
Granddad, stand in the yard and talk.
Oh my god.
Just go stand in the bush and tell us some stories.
Okay. Back to a more serious topic though, just to kind of bring us, I wanted to bring us up a little bit.
Let's keep going with the silly stuff though, because I'm in that mood now.
But I would like to ask you guys, how do you want to be remembered when you die? Do you want to be remembered when you die? Have you thought about that before?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Tell me.
Through music. I want to be someone who has created some music that has impacted someone's life. Even if it's just one person or like a group of people that have impacted a life and is still listened to in the future. And when they listen to it, they remember me.
Do you have an example of that?
Queen.
Yeah.
The Beatles.
Yep. They're not dead.
Some of them are.
Some of them are.
But it's like their music created way back then, and it's still some people listen to it now, and then they just remember them, and it's like
they're not dead, but still.
it's kind of like putting like your soul into something, and then it being re-listened to in 100 times in the future.
Like I always love listening to
like a time capsule,
like Beethoven or Mozart.
Yeah, Mozart.
I know, I'm like so cultured.
I like
no, but I used to love listening to it when I took music in high school because like you're listening to something that somebody made.
He made his first like
music
like 8 years old or something.
But like the complexity that they put into it, and like all this heart and soul, and like what were they thinking when they made those pieces?
Crazy.
Because they didn't have lyrics.
So how do you want to be remembered?
It was just sound.
Yeah.
What do you want to be remembered for?
I've thought about this a bit, and I either want to be remembered as like that weirdly helpful old person on the street who gave you some weird advice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or
so you're just waiting to be an old person? Is that what it is?
Pretty much.
just like seeing a young lady and you're there and you're just like give them some advice about their future from the past, and then they can...
Actually, that's one of the things I love about being a teacher is because you get to just like pass on wisdom to kids.
Well, I heard this story the other day.
I love them to think about it like 20 years in the future. It's like, oh yeah, and that like help them.
It helps them make a decision.
Yeah.
There's this story the other day of these two guys, they're housemates, and they live next door to this old lady, and every afternoon she will come to the fence and literally just pass over like bowls of food that she's just cooked during the day, and in return, like they'll help her, they'll do her yard work, they'll bring in her like bins and stuff. But I just thought that was really cool because like it's something that it's not on a global scale like you were talking about with music. It's more of like a local sort of thing, and it's a personal thing that, you know, kids and their kids will remember that like lady that was just there, and she was just, you know, constantly being helpful and passing wisdom on, that sort of stuff. That's really, really cool.
Or like a pillar of the community kind of a thing. Like just a small town knows you. Like everyone has that one little story about you. It's like, oh yeah, they helped me do this, and I remember that time they just gave me this really good piece of advice when I really needed it. Like that would be amazing.
That's why I think also, having like a little cafe.
The opposite of that, I've thought about this. Either I want to be remembered that way in a good way, or I want to be remembered as like the best villain in history.
Oh my god.
Or like a bank robber that was never caught. Like I would love that. Can you just imagine like BuzzFeed Unsolved doing like one of those pieces on them? It's like there was only one scrap of evidence left behind, and no one knows who it was. But or like this mysterious figure in history that everyone wonders about, like Jack the Ripper. I don't want to murder people, but at the same time,
if I have to like get that legacy, like I will.
Yeah, but like this mysterious figure in history that everyone sort of knows vaguely, but they don't actually really know.
I haven't really thought about it that much in terms of like what sort of legacy I'd like to leave behind, but thinking about it now, I'd like to leave behind something along the lines of like, I don't know if it's like a space or something, or like some sort of
like a park bench with your name on it.
No, it's more like eventually I'd like to start something that brings more people into creative projects and works and things like that.
Like those people who have like scholarships named after them, or
something like that. I think
like creating your own like uni that's just for that.
Yeah, I don't know where it's going yet. I don't even know if I'd want to be remembered. I think maybe do my thing and leave and just
that
like
would also
disappear.
be really cool.
And people just be like, "Who did this?" And like, I don't know.
It's like no one knows.
I'll be the one that knows.
Things.
Yeah,
that would be cool. I like
you are permanently anonymous.
No one remembers you, but they remember everything you did.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That would be cool.
So it's essentially like being that mysterious figure. That's exactly what I want.
Like Jack the Ripper.
This is the first one I thought of it.
Why?
I've been watching too much crime documentaries.
I love watching those.
And BuzzFeed Unsolved is back, so that's on my brain constantly.
God. What's something that you don't do that you really should be doing?
Okay. Now the reason that I thought about this is because what you guys said before, where Alex was going, he was feeling his breast for some reason, saying, "I think I have cancer." Tom was saying, "Well, do you have a lump? You should get it checked out." I'm like, well, yeah, you should go get it checked. Go to the fucking doctor.
When you need to go to the doctor, but you never actually go.
Yeah.
I mean, exercising is an obvious one. Drinking water, I should be doing that.
No. But like, even like just random stuff, like I constantly forget to change the gas on at home, because when you live by yourself, that's something you need to do.
Your house blows up.
Because I've got I think it's natural gas or something, and I've got to change it if I want hot water. I always forget to do that. So I will shower for like 3 weeks in completely cold water because I can't be bothered to walk around to the back of my house to change it. So...
Just like, I should probably start assignments earlier, but I don't.
Something that I really should start doing is probably looking into meditation. And we've spoken about it a few times now. And I think it is something that is getting quite popular, and it's probably actually quite helpful. It's really good.
I teach it to some of my students. We do like a meditation hour like once a week.
Yeah.
Usually after PE, just to calm them down.
Isn't that just sleeping logs?
No, it is not. It's completely different.
One of those things.
The sleeping logs.
Heads down, thumbs up.
That's such a good game.
But no, that's what I do on the last day of school, Alex. No, that's when you've completely cleared out the classroom. You've got nothing left there. Yeah. It's like, I could be teaching you stuff, but we've got nowhere to teach, no resources to use. So it's all locked away so that we can go on holidays.
Yep.
Nice.
But teaching them mindfulness and just the time to relax.
Yeah, and giving yourself time. Important. One thing I've been reading a lot about and watching YouTube videos about is giving yourself time to be bored. is a really big thing, because we're so kind of stimulated at all times of the day now with your phone and TV and internet and all that sort of stuff. You're constantly like just looking for a way to like just get rid of boredom. And one thing is, you should actually be letting yourself be bored or looking for ways to be bored so that you can think. And and that's when you come up with lots of different ideas and you think about life.
Like in the shower.
In the shower.
Exactly. Because what happens when you're bored is that your subconscious kind of pushes forward all of the kind of thoughts that you've had that you haven't had time to process, and it kind of starts getting you to process them.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what meditation is. It's letting yourself be bored for a while and just sitting there and acknowledging your thoughts.
Because I think we'd be, as like a
society.
Society. I was kept thinking community. I'm like, that's not the word. It starts with an
S.
What is it? What the fuck? But anyways, as a society, we've just become like this distracted generation. Like we're constantly trying to distract ourselves from our own thoughts. We're trying to distract ourselves from what's going on.
We can't be original anymore. Yeah. If we're distracted.
Yeah.
Like we're sort of just trying to recreate things. We're not necessarily trying to keep moving forward in some ways.
Yep. Like Disney movies. They're just sequels and recreating the same movies.
Live action.
Oh god, there's no point.
I'm so excited for Lion King.
So am I. I'm hating the fact that they keep doing live actions, but I also love the live actions because they're really good. But but we're trying to distract ourselves from all the bad because there's so much bad going on in the world at the moment, and like we're not dealing with it.
Yeah.
Like we just keep distracting ourselves and going, it'll be fine. Yeah. It's like that
It
dog.
If you just ignore it, it just goes away.
Yeah.
Like, but it's not.
But
actually
it doesn't.
happen.
Shit happens.
Yeah.
But and we need to deal with shit. Is essentially what I'm trying to say.
All right, guys. Last question: if you could be in any TV show, if you could live in that TV show, what TV show would it be?
Flash.
You would die or become a
I'd
supervillain.
be a superhero because there's only like a couple.
No,
people,
you would not.
And I get superpowers, and then I can be like
No.
hanging out with Flash and Arrow, and I can be like, "Hey, guys, let's go save some people."
There are only like
You would definitely
5.
die very quickly.
I would not.
Comparative to how many episodes of Flash there are and how many metahumans there are, there are only like 5 superheroes with powers. The rest all kill people
That's because
or die.
they're different. I'm better than them.
Okay, I have an answer. Do you remember that TV show Parallax? It used to be on like ABC or something.
Oh my god, I hated that.
They had all these portals everywhere.
Yeah.
When they would walk onto like a bridge or something.
Yeah.
And then, yes, I remember that.
I'd like to
show.
be in
You'd
that. I think
randomly
that'd
up
be
in
cool.
another universe and be like, what the fuck
Parallel
is this?
dimensions,
That
that
was-
sort of
that was
stuff.
such a good show.
Yeah. Yeah. Kayla, what's your answer?
Still think Flash is the best.
I keep thinking Bones in my head, but I know that in that universe, I'd just be one of the dead
You'd be
people.
the dead person. They'd be like, what happened? They're like, she ran into a wall. And on that note, I would like to say thank you to anyone who watched this show, anyone who listened to this in any of the places that you can listen to podcasts, which we haven't figured out yet, but apparently Thomas knows how to do it.
It's fine.
You got this, Tom.
I
We
got
believe
this.
in you.
It's okay.
We don't. Yeah, we believe. It's all good.
Get
Yeah.
out of here.
If you're watching this on YouTube, though, make sure you hit that like button down below if you like videos like this. And if you hit that subscribe button, you might see some more content from us. Or you might not, because I'm quite
We
unreliable.
recorded 2 in a day. This is probably going to be it, so sorry.
And that's all for the podcast for the next year. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye. Hey, I can slide. You have to fall over.
Okay, thanks guys. Yeah. This is just me now. I like this part. Stop. Every episode's gonna end with me.